Tell the Decepticons I said personally, go to the south side of Chicago
Please go to the
and
south
see
side.
how that works out.
Go talk to the brothers on the
Go
street, on
talk
the
to the
corner.
brothers on the
Go holler
street.
at them.
Go holler at them. We dare you. Since you want to, make a fuss, go
Yeah.
talk to the brothers on the south side of Chicago. I'm quite sure they would love to have a word. Let's
Oh
go
yeah.
take a quick break and we can finish.
Okay, let's go.
You're listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC is your one-stop shop for a wide variety of customized items. So bling out your Crocs, customize that cutting board, get you custom dominoes. Stop by and we will customize your order today. We can be found on Etsy and Our Plugs LLC. I'll be waiting to customize your order. All you need to do is place it.
Welcome to Morningstar Boutique, where the sun is shining and the style is all about you, your beauty, confidence, and individuality. Whether that's your perfect summer dress, a chic jumpsuit, or outfit you didn't know you needed, we've got you. Stop by ourplugs.com and check us out. We'll see you soon.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We were just discussing the DOJ going, or Doge boys, the Doge children going after the mayor.
No, the DOJ. The DOJ.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then I was right. The DOJ.
You're right. The Department of Justice.
Is it
Right.
Cash Patel? No, that's
No, it's Pam. Pam
Pam.
Bondi.
Pam
Her team.
Bondi.
Yeah.
Oh, girl,
Her
Pam.
team.
Pam.
And the thing here, it's just it's very blunt what they're doing. So we are just going to let them have their, because it's like petulant children throwing a temper tantrum, because how dare you talk about and celebrate your people's accomplishments? How many years have they been on the top stage?
Yeah, they can't stand
Over
to
400.
see black people do anything. That's why we
It just
couldn't live in peace when we had Black Wall
it
Street,
burns them
our
up.
own city, yes, our own cities, and we were doing just fine. And then they wanted to segregate. Let me stop. Let me
It
go.
burned them up.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
more story, then I'm gonna pass it to you. And
yes,
this is a
ma'am.
good one. This is about my Mississippi people. Listen here, we got
Oh,
another phenomenal black student from Mississippi accepted into 50 universities and awarded over 10 million
whew,
in scholarships, honey.
jeez.
Woo! I need
Now that's how you do that.
I know his mother is ecstatic, and his father. Wow, what an amazing young
Lord,
man. Jamie Anderson, an African American high school senior from Forest Hill High School in Jackson, Mississippi, has
Jackson.
made national headlines, earning more than 10 million in college scholarships and offers from 50 universities across the country.
He can go
What?
wherever he wants to go.
What? Paid for full.
That's how you do it. That is beautiful. Congratulations, young man.
Amazing
Congratulations.
work.
Don't make
So
us
proud
proud.
of you.
Your aunties over here, we're super proud of you, baby. That's how you do it. I'm so proud of him.
We all family. We
Yes, we
together, y'all.
family. Yes,
Remember Reggie said what?
we're
That lady said
together.
that? We together. So
We're
you
together.
got aunties in Houston and all around this world that is super proud of you, young man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pass that message to Mississippi. I
Yes,
know y'all heard
please.
about it.
Yes, please pass the message. His big aunties in H Town are super proud. Super proud.
Absolutely.
So let's get into mine. So the Pentagon accepted a $400 million claim. The level of corruption and crime that these people are doing is just ridiculous. I don't even expect them to do anything honest this entire 4 years. I don't think that I expect for Fat Nixon to crime as much as he can. I expect them to misspeak words and not know that there's only four stages of cancer and not five or nine. I expect that from them. I expect them to be the dumbest box of rocks in the garden ever. You are going to accept a $400 million plane. Well, karma, have your way. Have your way, have your way.
My question, DJ, is did it go through Congress? Because the Pentagon, last I checked, the Pentagon ain't Congress. They don't hold any branches of government.
They don't.
They don't hold the power of the purse.
They don't. Congress does. Well, Congress is supposed to. But now that Frumpy done
So we
passed this,
skipping? We
yeah.
messing with the Constitution?
He didn't put his hand on the Bible and swear an oath to the Constitution. He did not. That's why he keeps saying, I don't know. I got to check with my attorneys. You don't know if you're going to hold the Constitution. You got to check with your attorneys. Then why are you trying to be a president if you don't know? So,
we skipping all the way over. Okay.
Exactly. Then Frumpy, the man with the dead hand, he put another, Oval Office shim with the South African president. Now I want to say his name, and I think it's pronounced Ramaphosa. I hope I'm saying that right. If not, charge it to my head and not my heart. But he decided to ambush him and tell him that, white folks are getting genocide over there. If y'all don't stop with this.
Why do y'all want to be oppressed?
So bad.
Not, it ain't really a good feeling to be always never alone. We're never alone. Even when we're by ourselves, we're never alone.
Never alone.
Somebody always doing this in our peripheral. We can feel it. We see it. We're never alone.
I would like to be alone, left alone, especially, even going out to lunch, we're never alone. Never. Going to the mailbox, we're never alone.
We ain't alone.
I don't understand what's the, well, I do know what's the draw. You want to touch.
We're exotic.
We're
know.
Magic.
We're beautiful.
And you want to touch. I had to do that over the weekend. Stop touching.
I saw
it. Was, over the weekend. Look, little girl, don't touch me.
Stop.
Stop touching me.
Trump put on such a show. He put a clinic on, y'all. That's, if you know anything about basketball, when somebody put a clinic on, they just do it all. They go all out for what they're doing on their sport. His sport is TV. His sport is nonfiction. He has no sense of reality. He thinks that this is all facade. This is all, our lives are part of a game. It's make-believe.
Yeah.
So he had a slideshow for the president. A propaganda, y'all. A propaganda.
A fake,
debunked already news trying to accuse this president, this respected African Black man president, of genocide towards white African, the people who came in and colonized their land. And took their land.
The people who came in and colonized their land. Cut it out. Just cut it out. I really want to. You think they'll let us in the White House so we can ask them some questions?
We need to interview.
Or do you think that they would just?
Well, honey, if I'm gonna go to jail because if you touch me,
it's a reflex. It's natural. Don't touch me. Because I feel like people have the ick worms, cooties.
It was embarrassing, y'all.
It's very embarrassing.
It's sad that this is what we are. What is this? Day 150? What? I don't know.
150,000 days. That's how I feel.
Really tired.
150,000 days at this point. And it's just not going to get any better. Not with him. you know, as the days go on and he gets older, the dementia,
It gets worse.
the you know, it gets worse, you know. So we shall see. You know, one of these days somebody gonna go up in that Oval Office and tell him to shut up, shut it up. Oh wait, hold on. A 4-year-old already did that.
Sure did.
Shut your mouth. You're not the
Shut your
president.
mouth.
Shut your
Yeah.
mouth. So, anywho, my last one is y'all do know that that big, beautiful bill that they've been talking about, the big, beautiful bill that they're trying to pass, cuts Medicare. I'm sorry, Medicaid, cuts SNAP benefits. We have been we have been warning you guys, we have been talking, we have been telling folks before this this despicable administration got in office that this was going to happen. And lo and behold, surprise, surprise, here we are. They passed it. Now that it's got to go, you know, go through the channels, but you know, hopefully there will be at least 5 or 6 Republicans with some sort of an ounce of a soul that don't want to see their people, their constituents starve to death and unalive due to not having medical insurance and care. And you know, because it's more than just going to the doctor. Medicaid pays for, you know, diapers and wheelchairs, and it pays for the living, a person to continue to live, that nurse that comes over and helps your grandparents, and it pays for that.
Right. Right.
And you're looking at 14 million people on Medicaid. And what do they want to do? They want to strip it away. But they want to make sure that Fat Nixon has a birthday parade and that he can go golfing and that he can go to NASCAR and he can go to the Super Bowl. Wasteful spending. That's all I got. Wasteful spending.
I'm telling y'all, this is whew,
It's a sad state that America
it's
is
all
in.
true. This is what's going on.
And our mainstream media, you know, they may talk about it, but the people that own their networks, you know, they can't really talk about it because those people that own their networks actually gave money to the man with the dead hand. You know, they have no problems with, you know, giving the man with the dead hand their money so that they can stay in the mix and keep their hands and their pockets full. Even
Right.
Mike Johnson, doesn't he look like the Keebler elf? Anywho, even Mike Johnson, this is another one. He said that, you know, it's okay for people to in Congress to be able to do stocks, you know. It's all a grift. All of it's a grift. All of it is a money grab. And you know what I'm going to always ask, where is the money, LaShandra?
Where's the money?
Where's the money? Where is the money, y'all? For real? Somebody call LaShandra and get LaShandra on the phone. Where is the money?
Y'all look it up
Medicare,
yet? I told y'all,
five
go
hundred
find what she's
billion dollars.
talking about. You gotta go on TikTok or YouTube or something.
Where is the money, LaShandra? That's what I'm gonna call Frumpy from now on, LaShandra.
LaShandra.
LaShandra. Who is that? The president. His name is LaShandra. Because he can't tell me where the money is at.
You know, the president, I got to give it to the president of South Africa. You know, he kept his
Better than me.
composure, but he absolutely wasn't having it. He said, "You listen to this, all lies, all lies."
And then looked at him like, dude, why am I even here?
Like who? What? You know, just the just an idiot, y'all.
Y'all, for real. I mean,
Okay,
I'll
Rose, we
send it
gonna
to
have to
you.
get it to you. We gonna have to have Kitty forward it to you.
I just don't understand how he thought that it was a good idea to come for this black man in the Oval Office. I'm sorry, South African man in the Oval Office and think that that South African man wasn't gonna have a comeback, because that's all we are notorious for comebacks. It's either we have a comeback or we get quiet, and y'all don't want us to get quiet, because when we get quiet, we're thinking about how much time will I have to spend in handcuffs.
Okay, because we trying to come
Versus,
up with a quiet is dangerous. So, we trying to put together thoughts in our head of how we gonna get away with this.
yeah. So I tip my hat to the South African president, because he's better than me. That's why I would never be president. Because my temperament would be like, what are you talking about? If y'all don't get this person up out of here, Frumpy could not talk to me. Because the first thing I'm going to say is, LaShandra, where is the money?
Yeah.
You done stole
Security.
yeah, security. You done stole all of our money. Like, seriously, I joke, I laugh, but where is the money? All these people that you have fired, all these, you done gutted the farmers, you done gutted. Where's the money? Where's the FEMA money? We have had tornadoes rip up through states, 7 states, over the last, week, 2 weeks. It's hurricane season in Houston, and they're saying that the states are supposed to take care of it. All right, newsflash: blue states carry red states. Red states don't have enough money to take care of losses like this. They'll take care of the infrastructure, but your homes, your property that's damaged, you better hope and pray that you have insurance. And even with insurance, you still gotta wait.
Yeah.
So if you got your house demolished and everything's gone, and your town is levied, I mean, not levied, but leveled,
Yeah.
because that happened in Kansas one year, where the tornado came through and just wiped out the town. FEMA showed up. Those people were able to eat the next day, and we did donations. Now they're like, we have cleared out FEMA, and good luck to you.
That part right there, people are waiting. And I mean, you even got his own his own Decepticons asking him, begging him for money, and then
Josh Hawley,
one of his Decepticons,
he was
Josh
running
Hawley,
through the halls of Congress when J6, he was running, he was hauling behind.
booking, honey.
Knees to chest, chest to knees, he was gone. Elbows in, elbows tucked. He was he was running. His feet, his pants were high water. It was so funny to see him running. But yet, here we are. So I don't know.
Hey, it is what it's gonna be.
It is. It is what it's gonna be. All I can say is let's try and make the best of things. Let's
band together, guys.
Band together, Get start your gardens, like we've been telling folks. Start your gardens. I'm actually doing getting my dirt delivered this weekend, and now that I have time, and doing my garden this weekend.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
You
came over. You saw what we was doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're making great strides in the garden.
He is. He getting in his hands and feet into. I don't do all that dirt stuff. I let him go ahead.
I love it.
I know. Yes, y'all. But I support. Okay.
We appreciate the support. We appreciate the support. T Wiz put in the comments that FEMA hasn't shown up to St. Louis. T Wiz, I hate to tell you, sweetheart, and tell a friend to tell a friend, FEMA's not coming. There's no gas. There's no gas in the trucks. There's no nothing. LaShandra done took all the money.
I said that's why I was saying yesterday on yesterday's show, T Wiz, if you can find out if there's any organizations that's maybe banding together, the Democrats or independents that support each other and not this administration, that try to help some of these people who might need help or whatever, let us know.
Let us know. That's the best thing to do.
We got to organize. We have to organize.
It's the only way it's going to work. Is if we organize and stay organizing and stay connected.
Yep.
because our people won't suffer. Our ancestors, you know, they have made a way. They're still even making a way because, as far as I know, some plantations caught on fire.
Oh, I heard about that. Y'all, we talked about that a little bit yesterday.
Mhm.
It's a fire.
It's a fire.
Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
Smelled like s'mores. Let's go ahead and get into some celebrity gossip tonight. I'm excited
Okay.
about this. Go ahead,
We got our
friend.
friend in
I
here.
said what I said on up.
All right. Hold on. Let's see if I can bring you
Goodness.
in.
Right to make that
You got
decision all on his own. So he could
Hey,
leave.
I
So
said
as
what
he
I
takes a
said.
stand.
Hello,
lady.
ladies. How y'all doing
Hi.
today?
Doing well. How about
How you
yourself?
doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
I hear your
That's good.
background. Can you turn down a little bit?
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
That's
My
okay.
bad. My
Yes,
bad.
ma'am.
Oh,
Thank
that
you.
is too cute.
Thank
What
you.
now? What is this emoji? Is this an A?
It's an AI emoji. Oh my goodness. You
Okay,
fancy girl.
I see you. She looking around like, mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on 1 second, guys.
Very
Okay.
Let me launch it so my mouth can move when I forgot to turn the app on. So give me
Oh,
Oh,
one
so it's
okay.
the
second.
See,
So
whole app.
yeah,
see
because
how technology is doing.
my mouth
Wow.
is not moving right now. So hold on one moment. Let me bring that
Sure.
up
That's not
and
fair.
enable this camera. Okay, so
Uh-oh.
now my mouth should be moving.
Oh
It
my
is.
All
goodness.
right then.
She's
So
bringing.
hey,
Hey,
Hey.
girl.
ladies. Well, y'all know I'm always into something now. You know how I do it.
Hey, I'm kind of
Uh-oh.
scared.
Uh-oh. It's what
It's
hold
doing
on.
the Harlem Shake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's doing the Harlem shake. I think I got two desktops up. Hold on a sec here.
yeah, she's shaking it out, baby. She,
Yeah.
Why
Let
she
me
doing that?
I don't know, child. A lot of times when
Let
you
me
launch
mention
it,
something. I said what I said. Hold on 1 second. So we talking about the fire. You
uh-huh.
know, there was this conspiracy thing because I see what Melba put in. Annabella was there. You know, the doll, Annabella. So you
Yeah.
know that's a real story they say they say it was a possessed doll, and so during the time of the fire, that doll was in Louisiana, and so some of the people were throwing holy water on it, and this is
Mm.
the story I was getting from my husband. He had read about it, and they said that they think Annabelle is responsible. Annabelle might have a connection to the ancestors. I don't know, but
power to the
That's what
people.
I heard
power
now.
to the people, Annabelle. You did what you had to do.
Power to the
Wow.
And
people.
then I heard she was on her way to another to Texas, I think, to San
Oh,
Antonio to take care of some business.
handle your
Well,
business,
when
girl.
she gonna make it up to Washington?
She
Okay.
gotta hit the
Pennsylvania
round.
Avenue. I'm waiting on that one.
1500 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Well, when I had this when I set this avatar up, of course, I had some assistance, but when we set it up, my hands was moving up and down, and I was like, I feel like Megan. Megan was like Annabelle. Megan was
That
mean too.
that doll, yeah.
Yeah, that dog Megan. Yes, that's who I felt like at first when we first set it up, but we kind of tweaked it a little bit so that I won't be doing so much moving around when I'm speaking, because when your voice goes up, it animates it. It makes it go higher. The
Oh
higher your voice
wow.
is, yeah, the more excited you get, the more
It
your
do all
body
kind
move
of
around. Yeah. So,
animations.
but yeah, so I thought this was kind of cute to do, versus getting on camera like you guys, so I don't have to worry about no weeds and fixing my lipstick, and I ain't got to comb my hair, none of that.
We're gonna let you slide this time, sis, but we like to see you. Period. Yeah, we're gonna let you slide though. But you have blessed us because every time you come through with the celebrity gossip. Miss Morningstar and I, we typically stick to, news you can use, the breaking news. So it's always nice to hear what's going on the other end and not be so serious, because after listening and having to discuss and talk about what frumpy dump man with the dead hand does every
Mhm.
day, it tends to wear you out. So
It's
I
exciting.
want some mindless entertainment. So what do you have, sis? What do you have?
Well, I don't know how great this entertainment news is going to be, but we got the Diddy trial going on right now,
Oof, girl.
and boy, is it a trial. it appears like one day the prosecution is winning, then the next day the defense is winning. So to look like today, the defense was winning today. It's like whenever
What
they
happened
bring a
today?
witness in, huh?
What happened today to say that the defense is winning?
Well, the witness that they had today was this guy. I think they was calling him Prince or somebody like that. They wasn't giving his real name, right?
Okay.
And so he was like a paid, a paid worker for them.
Mm-hmm.
And what he's testifying to is he's testifying that Cassie actually set up all the freak offs. She paid the money. They showed text messages where him and her were corresponding to each other, and he's kind of testified to the fact that she actually set everything up. She actually paid the money, except for one time when Puffy got excited, he actually gave some money and said that he liked this it. But
Yeah.
also, he was, how the lawyers are. So the prosecution, I mean, the defense was asking him, were any one of them intoxicated or, under the influence of drugs or what have you. And the guy testified to no. So when the prosecution came in and redirected him, it comes to find out he's never did any pharmaceuticals or drink or anything, so he wouldn't know if somebody was under the influence or not. And I'm like, okay.
Here's my thing about that, though. I said what I said. They are bringing up the Cassie and what he did with her, and they're setting the stage on the things that he did. But what I've read is he is facing racketeering charges, and what they found in his home when they, did that knock knock open up
Mm-hmm.
was ammunition and weapons and ammunition. Now the weapons
Drugs.
didn't have, and of course in that, but I'm just going to specifically look at the weapons because that is the hugs and the narcotics is a serious charge, but those weapons charges and the serial numbers were taken off,
Yeah.
scraped off.
Yeah, they were scraped
That
off.
is what's going to get him in a world of trouble because you can't do that. And those are federal charges.
Yeah,
Now,
they have to be registered.
And I would say this to, him, the witness today saying, she already said that she was the organizer. She
already
felt
said-
like it was a job.
It was her job.
She felt like she had to because of her abuse that she was receiving. So she was forced to do this. She was forced to be the person and fake like she was excited about, She mentioned all of this. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, defense, where y'all going with it? Are y'all trying to paint a picture? And I don't know. She might be caught up in the racketeering. It's not like she is. Like, she part of it.
She might be. But
And
so
where
the
did
person
she
who
get the
supplied
money?
Huh? Well,
Where did she get the money? Because she
she
didn't
didn't
have a
have
job.
any money.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go ahead and take a quick break and we'll come right back. You're listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7. The Change. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
And I'd like for you to do one more thing for me. Hold up two fingers. This is you, and this is me, and the space that exists between us should be filled with value.
Equal, a global human initiative, and its value identity model.
Let's be real. Being a woman means juggling everything. Careers, families, goals, and somehow our health ends up last on the list. But what if your wellness came first? At Nutrition You Design, we believe healthy living shouldn't be complicated. From custom meal plans to one-on-one coaching and specialized lab testing, we're here to help you fuel your body and feel amazing every day. It's not about dieting, it's about thriving. It's about energy, balance, confidence, you. So if you're ready to feel stronger, healthier, and in control of your nutrition, let's do this together. Contact Nutrition You Design today and design a healthier you.
Opa May Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skin care in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opal May Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Middleton, life and executive leadership coach and owner of Radiate Coaching and Development, where we provide transformational, strength-based coaching and mentorship. My goal specifically is to support you in identifying your mission, your vision, and your values that help you take your power back as you are building your career. Whether it's within or outside of the corporate world, my goal is to really empower you in making decisions that work well for you. So if you want to reach out to me, by all means, you can email me at radiate@midspiration.com or check out my website at radiatecoaching.com.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Today we're talking about gossip in the city, and we have our good girlfriend, I Said What I Said, to come and break it on down for us. Okay, so today we're talking about Diddy and getting into trial day number, what is this, 5, 6 of this trial?
8.
And day 8, wow.
Yeah, day 8 of it.
So yeah, they were talking about the weapons, and then, even if they were trying to put the blame, or trying to insinuate that Cassie had more to do with it, you made a valuable point. Where did she get the money from? She didn't have a job. So what else was said at trial? I said what I said.
Well, like I said, they were just really honing in on that portion of it. That's basically the gist of what he was saying, and they were asking all of those questions about, who paid for the travel, who reached out to him, who paid him when he got there. And he said a couple of times when he did come, nothing was going on. He did specify that Puffy was there. A couple of times he said that Puffy was there, and he didn't participate in anything when things did happen, but he was there, and he was there as a warrior, I guess, per se. And that, they just wanted to make sure that they tried to discredit Cassie. But like you said, this case is not about Cassie. This case is about racketeering, trafficking, and about you crossing state lines, and you're crossing different not so much the state lines, and you're going out of the country, and you're hiring these people, you're hiring these escorts, and you're trafficking them out of the country, you're trafficking them out of the state. But it appears that they want to just focus it all on Cassie and trying to put the blame on her, as if she was the mastermind of all of this, when she really had no power. And if you have Stockholm syndrome, and I hope the defense bring in some experts about that too, about the psychology portion of it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because keep in mind, this child was 18 when he got her, 18 or 19.
19. Mm-hmm.
19 when he got her. So if you beat somebody into oblivion, and if you act like a pimp, because that's basically what he's been acting like, in my opinion.
Basically,
you're right. Basically,
you ain't lying. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and so you're beating her and making her, dance to your tune. Why wouldn't she do what you tell her to do? Why wouldn't she act like she's happy when she's with you? You can see
has
that
to.
She has to, because if she don't go along with the program, she already know what comes with that.
Right.
Exactly. I don't even see why the defense would even take this stance. If she doesn't go along with the program, we saw her get beat down, and
they have to see in defense of the defense. They got to try every angle, because they know,
reasonable doubt.
They know that he got all the strikes against him right now. I mean, because we all know when the feds come for you, they got all the evidence, So right now they're trying to find an angle around that racketeering, because those are the charges,
Good luck with that.
And it looked like he had an enterprise going on. And I mean, that's just me. And I ain't no lawyer. I ain't claiming to be, but I ain't stupid.
Yeah, it was an enterprise. Think about it. It was organized. It's not like all of a sudden, let me call and we're just going to plan this party. This went on for years, 10
All
years.
that baby oil had to be organized,
I
right?
mean, my goodness, why are you getting all that baby oil? I've never seen that much baby oil. What are y'all doing? Are y'all bathing in the baby oil? Is it poured?
I think they did sometime.
Well, they put it in a pool, he said.
They had it in the pool.
Yeah, and why would you do that? It kind of remind me of mud wrestlers,
Right.
Like, what is the infatuation with
Just
this baby oil?
weird.
Because I was trying to figure out if they put some pharmaceuticals in it, but they said no, it was no pharmaceuticals inside the baby oil, because I thought that's what he was doing, putting some type of pharmaceutical in there and then rubbing it on people so it can go through your skin that way. But that wasn't the case.
And then they even had I read where she talked about the baby oil, that there was like a time, like you had to put it on at least 9 minutes prior to, and it had to be glistening, and you had to keep it on, like keep applying it every 20 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes. You had to keep applying it because he liked to see the glistening. So don't tell me this is a system. He was running a whole organization that included instructions on how to apply the baby oil.
And it's a crazy system. Like, why?
They be nasty.
I'm just so stunned at some of the things that I have read and heard, and it's just disheartening. But
yeah,
I know that Usher's name has been brought up, and so has Neo's. No one's brought up Stevie J.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's coming. Because I read the original first indictment paperwork.
Whose names is on there, sis?
Well, I know Stevie J is definitely on that one. That was the first one. And pictures.
Oh, it's just so much. And then, okay, so another question. I know that they show pictures day before yesterday. They show pictures of poor Cassie, big gash in her head, just beat down. It's heartbreaking because it's senseless. We raise our kids, we have our kids, we raise our kids, we send our kids out into the world.
Her mother took her mama took those pictures too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Baby.
But what do you guys think about her mom paying him $20,000 to try to get her child back?
Ain't that sad?
That's sad.
Oh, and then she didn't have the money to do that. She had to put a lien out on her house.
Her and her husband took a lien out on the house.
Yes.
I would have called my cousin.
Here you got a millionaire. What was Diddy? A billionaire? A millionaire?
Almost a billionaire.
Almost a billionaire.
Yeah, he was almost a billionaire.
He's gonna be broke at the end of this. He's gonna be a broken heir.
Going after this little family who got to take a lien out on their home and give you $20,000
for the money that he said he put up front.
Later and give it back to them.
Yeah, but they still took the loan out, so that means they're not going to pay $20,000 back. They still have to pay back fees unless they gave it right back before. I would say
yes, I was
30 days. Before
30 days.
And did he? I know he gave it back within 5 days. But one thing about some cash and you get it like that, are you really going to give it all back so that you don't have to pay fees? But since you qualified to get it, what most people are going to do, they're going to spend that money because it's on hand, because they can find some other things to do with it, I'm sure. But the fact that they had to even come up with the funds, the fact that you made those people go through all of that and you still didn't give their daughter back to them.
The mental anguish that you put them through. It was that it's horrible. It's horrible.
And they know what their daughter is going through. Like you said, the mom took pictures of the bruises. So can you imagine just knowing that your child is, you don't ever know what day your child is not going to be here, because that's basically what it comes down to. In this type of relationship, you never know when this dude is going to go too far. of course, you're thinking of the worst in your mind. You know she's afraid. You know
Of
she can't
course.
run. She can't hide. He had judges. He had the cop. He had a whole machine behind him,
Control over everything.
control over everything. So it's the power against the powerless.
Yes.
So can you imagine how our parents felt in that position?
I would call my cousin Pookie.
Me too. I would call all my cousin Pookie. I would call
Baby,
Pookie, Ray Ray,
Dre
Ray,
from
John
down the
John,
John,
way,
Dre. I'll call all of them.
every last one of them. I call
Yeah.
Peanut now.
all
Peanut
of
and them. And I'm gonna call the crazy of the crazy cousins. I'm gonna call the ones that I
I'm
know
calling the
that's
one. I'm
crazy.
calling the cousin we call crazy. That's his
Right.
nickname, crazy.
Right. His name is
them.
crazy and
His
he
name
don't
is Craig.
care. And I'm gonna make sure that they have what they need to go over there before they go and to be ready.
I'm
I'm
gonna tell
calling.
you, somebody need to be Diddy needed to be dealt with for real.
Dealt with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things he did to that young lady. And Priscilla in the comments, she said something. So he extorted them. That
That's
should be another charge.
Well,
it should be.
well, she's asking what was the money for. The money was because he put up $20,000. We remember when she was on making the band and
Hmm.
she wanted to be a singer, right?
No, that was that
That
Cassie.
wasn't
That wasn't
Cassie.
Cassie.
I thought that was Don.
That was
Yeah,
Dawn.
That was
So
Don.
the 20,000 was because her mom had took pictures of when she came home for Christmas. Her mom had took those pictures of the bruises on her body and said, "We gonna keep these as memorabilia or whatever." That wouldn't have been my mama. My mom would have been driving over there, but
Right.
she took pictures and he found out because maybe Cassie told him my mom took pictures of me and all of my bruises. He was like, y'all got to give up the pictures.
Or
Yeah.
I'm gonna release this
I'm
tape.
gonna release the freak off stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, for the
I'm gonna
tapes.
ruin
Yeah,
her.
that's exactly what it's for. It's
I'm gonna
for those
ruin her.
tapes.
So it
Yeah.
was extortion. He did
Mhm.
extort them.
My mama would have said, "Get in the car and get everybody." It would have been a boop boop. Let's go.
Yeah, my
Because
whole family crazy. My whole family would have
Yeah,
been over
baby,
there.
it wouldn't
not,
have went down over here.
and
Not
it's really
me.
sad that he felt like he had the right. But we talked about this yesterday. That he grew up with around the mindset that he could do whatever. His dad was best friends with the guy from American Gangster. What's
One of the gangsters. His father was a gangster.
Lucas?
So
Is his name
Frank
Lucas?
Yeah,
Lucas,
Frank
Yeah.
Lucas.
Frank
Frank
Lucas.
Lucas. Yeah.
He was best friends with him. So who knows what Diddy actually saw. But regardless of what you saw, did you see being a decent person? You have daughters.
Diddy is mentally messed up.
And
He is
also
not.
and also I heard he was you know why he mental because apparently downstairs is not what he wanted to be.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, he got this thing for men as well. So, hey.
Yeah.
And that's clear. I mean, and I don't have nothing wrong. I mean, you be who you
Be
are.
you.
Be you. If
But
that's
don't
your
be
flavor,
disgusting.
be you. But the disgusting things that he did to that child be to make his own fetishes come to life.
Make
His
him feel
own
better.
nasty fetishes, was
Nasty.
But not only her though, he included
oh,
a
it's
lot of
more.
everybody that came in his path, everybody that wanted to be a star.
He was a
We
monster.
Yeah, he was a monster to them, and he extorted everybody that came. Well, now I won't say extorted, but exploded. He
Yeah.
exploited everyone.
Exploited.
Yeah,
And
everyone that came in his path.
it's gonna be more coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would like to see if Justin Bieber's gonna testify.
and I want to see if Jay-Z gonna be in this equation because him and Jay-Z was really good friends allegedly.
Well,
Jay-Z is trying to.
Jay cut off his puppy early, and nobody knew why.
Why?
Hmm.
He cut ties. They all from New York, so a lot of them.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's a lot of New Yorkers that knew, like one New Yorker who ain't afraid to talk about. I ain't
50
fool with that
Cent.
dude. 50 Cent. 50
Yeah.
Right.
You
Cent.
too, Melbo.
Yeah, 50
I
Cent love to
read
troll
something
him.
about Justin Bieber though. He did make a statement. They said that he said he nothing happened to him, but
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I'll find.
I mean, Justin Bieber went through a period
He
where
was a kid.
he was a kid, but he went through a period where you saw him not okay.
Yes.
And
Spiraling out.
yeah, he was not okay. Now, Usher was a child as well. My
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
thing is, y'all, we all have kids. I have kids. I'm not letting my child go with a grown up. I don't give a doggone what you do
I
for a
ain't
living.
chasing the bag like that.
Me
No.
I
either.
can go work. I'm not selling my kid
No.
because that's
And
basically what they did.
remember he gave Usher the nasty woman's disease. You know, when he was a kid. Remember
Mm-hmm.
the H disease? He gave him that a long time ago when Usher was a kid.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
Allegedly,
Say
yeah,
allegedly
allegedly.
because I
allegedly,
don't know.
yeah,
It was a
allegedly,
rumor. Yeah.
yeah. It was rumored that he did that to Usher. So
And Usher had to pay a young lady, and
yeah,
that's not alleged. He had to pay a young lady for passing on the hurt to her as well.
right.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah.
So
So that's not alleged. So, it's just a bunch of debauchery. And, all my life, I've heard folks talk about Hollyweird and, oh, don't go to Hollywood because, all kinds of things happen. And I would be like, oh, people just be saying anything. Boy, was I wrong.
Hmm.
I would
Well,
never in a million years expect he said bad boy for life,
hmm
you know.
it is.
and Death Row Records.
I
So
can only imagine what we don't know.
Yeah.
well,
And what
what
we
we do
never,
know, but what we do know, guys. Think about all the people that's not here. That was affiliated with him. Can we talk about fact?
let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Because it's so many different people that crossed his path that are no longer here.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Either they crossed his path or they were affiliated with the music mogul that's funding that funded Diddy.
Did he? Yes.
Yeah, CD, the
Yeah.
one that funded everybody. So if you crossed his path or if you cross Diddy's path, it's a lot of people, and some of them even famous like Prince and Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. I'm just inclined to believe. I just feel like all of this, and this is just my theory. I say what I said, theory, not nobody else's, and it's allegedly. But in my mind, all of this is together. All of this comes, to me, it all works together in my mind
I
because all
think
of these people are affiliated from the same persons.
I think that there were a lot of people who might have went to a freak off party or went to a party thinking it was a party
A party.
Yeah,
and was like surprise, surprise, and was like, yeah, I'm
I'm
done.
out.
Because a lot of people I remember back in the day used to say stuff about Diddy.
Me
And
too.
hmm,
they ain't fooled with him like that,
right.
and they ain't out him of what he was doing, which people should have outed him a long time ago
But they were
because it could
trying
have
though.
saved a lot of people.
But a
But
lot of people were trying to say it though, but nobody was listening.
I
see,
mean,
and that's
you're
another
going
thing,
against the man with all the money.
you hear
He's got all the
people
money and all the power.
whispering like they didn't want to fool with Diddy. A lot of people did not fool with Diddy. I
Denzel
remember that.
Washington went and said him and his wife left, and he said, "This is disgusting."
Yeah, they left the part. A lot of people left the parties early, so they didn't know. Like they were there during the daytime, but at night is when
They
the
ain't know
part.
it started at like the freaks
Yeah,
come out at night.
that's when the baby oil party started.
What?
Let's put
What? What?
You remember that song?
Freaks
yeah,
come out at
when the
night.
baby
What?
oil
What?
portion
What?
started, then that's when a lot of the other people left before it all started, and before the real party got to going on. But even Terrence Howard was just talking about him on a clip the other day about the things that was going on there, and how Puffy kept inviting him to his house. He said he played like he wanted to do acting lessons, and he said he went twice and nothing happened. And Puffy was just there looking at him. So he said, then the third time he said he wanted to do music. He went there to give him a music lesson because Terrence Howard plays the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And so nothing ever happened. So he said about the fourth time, Puffy asked him again. He was like, "Man, I'm not going back over there because nothing is going on, and I think something nefarious. He's trying to do something nefarious." And somebody finally told him what the real goal was, and he was like, "No, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole." And
Right.
so,
I read
and
that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and Cat Williams the same way. He said Puffy kept tapping his shoulder, and he was like, "Puffy want to party, and I ain't down with that type of party."
Okay, Cat Williams said it
No,
all.
Cat gonna tell it.
Cat gonna tell it all.
Right.
It's something about them cats. We gonna say it.
Ooh-wee.
Okay, we gonna say it all.
Y'all gonna set it off, Cat?
We gonna say it all, and we gonna set it off. Cause baby, I don't know what girl Diddy could never.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you acting like this because you short sighted. Cause you short sighted. Baby, please. I've been in her Diddy's feelings.
Well,
It would have been, me and my cousins, we would have whooped. Anywho, I'm
well,
glad that
it's just like Agent Orange. He got to, it seems like the people that that's not,
well
blessed.
endowed.
The moral
Blessed, yeah.
of the story is people when all that kind of money sometimes the power is what they think they hold. Well, they do.
They have to hold it. They have to do the power because they have nothing
have
else.
to do the
They have
power
nothing else to
moves.
use. They have nothing else to use.
That's it.
Yeah, gotta pay to play.
You're right.
Crazy stuff.
We
gotta keep up on these because I missed some of the court trial. I try to keep up, but it's so much going on. I'm glad you here.
Yes,
I said what I said to get us kind of caught up because I've been missing out these last couple of days, knowing exactly what's going on in these trials.
What did her mom say outside of telling everybody that she had to pay $20,000 for her child because she was in bed with a sick person? How did her mom say that she was upset or anything? Because baby, they would have had to put a bailiff in between me and Diddy.
Well, she basically said she felt powerless, and I can imagine so. Even though I'm like, let me just explain something to you guys. I'm watching it, but not like that because it's so much.
Yeah.
And I'm a very empathetic person, right?
Yeah.
And so I talk hard, but I still have a real soft heart when it comes to people in trauma. And I can't take too much of what he's done to her.
Yeah.
So I just kind of get a brief synopsis of it and try to get the good portions of it. But I'm not watching it like that, listening to it from word because I can't take it because
it's too much.
Yeah, it makes me really it makes me want to go retaliate, and I can't, and I know I can't do anything.
Exactly. It's very triggering for anybody who's ever gone through any type of abuse. It's extremely triggering because heaven forbid, she was a child.
Yes. And I have children. I've never went through abuse like that, but I do have children, and it makes me think about my daughter. It makes me think about my granddaughter because they could easily be in that place trying to, trying to what do you call it? Trying to chase fame and fortune.
Trying to get manipulated. It's such a slippery slope that it's so easy to get caught up in that web and then can't find your way out because now you didn't agree to something one time thinking maybe I'll just agree,
do it one time and I'll be okay.
And now, ma'am.
And we know how those type of people operate. They start out nice.
Yes.
And then
loving.
And caring. Yeah, they start out grooming you. And then when you find out who the wizard really is, it's a whole different ball game. So, and just not even people in power, your children can get caught up with just somebody on the streets. That's very manipulative. And so, like I said, I'm watching it, but I'm not I'm not watching it.
I got you.
I'm trying to take the hard part. When it start getting hard, I promise you, I turn the TV
I
off.
mean, I'm quite sure
I can't watch it all
because there's only so much anybody can take. And the thought, baby, when Cassie went on trial and she first started talking, I needed a minute to even process.
I mean,
what
and
she was saying.
8 months pregnant up there, trying to relive this, and I felt like this too much. She put stress on her baby. I'm like,
And she didn't have a choice either.
She didn't have a choice.
That's the whole thing about it, and that's what makes me so mad at the public. They're making, like I said, they're making this about her. Well, why is she testifying? She already got her money, but she didn't have a choice. If the government say come and testify, you have to go testify. You don't have no choice.
You know, I really wish our people would understand. Yeah, you may idolize this man. Oh, he's got money. But step into Cassie's shoes. If that were you, if that were your daughter, if that were your granddaughter, if that were your cousin, if it were your family member, how would you feel knowing that this dirty person who had all the money in the world to do something good, but chose to do this? Do you know how many communities he could have helped with his money instead of paying, people of the night, streetwalkers, whatever, to come? Escorts, the escorts for him to get off. Instead, he used that money to be the most vile person I thought R. Kelly was bad.
Right. He used that money to manipulate into stronghold and to have power over people, and to live in his fantasy world. Basically, what it is. He wanted everybody in his fantasy, because to me, the things that he's done and the way that he was operating, this is what sick people think in their minds. They don't actually act it out.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't expect them to actually act it out, and then here we are, 2025. Listen to the worst that we've heard. The worst. Epstein would have been horrible to go to trial, but he got Epstein out. But now we have this horrible trial that the whole world is witnessing and listening to, and of course it puts a bad light on our community, because it's our community.
Yes.
But people need to understand this is not art. This isn't normal for us either.
Please don't judge us that way. Let me ask you this one last thing, because I know we're getting ready to wrap it up. So Suge Knight said that he feel like Agent Orange is going to pardon him if he have to go to jail. But I did a short on it, and he was talking. He was being interviewed, and he was saying that he feel like that Puff may get off, and if he doesn't get off, he may get pardoned. What do you guys think about that? Do you think Agent Orange is gonna pardon him, because they do know each other and they have been around each other?
I doubt it. If he pardons him, it's gonna piss his base off. But his base is already pissed off, so I don't know if Puff pays enough.
Ain't no telling when you're dealing with a man with dementia. I mean, look what he's doing to the whole United States.
So, but if he does get off, Diddy does have to. He got to face the rest of us, and baby, it ain't gonna be pretty.
Diddy got to get. I don't know where he gonna go. That's safe.
Not here. I said what I said. Thank you so much for joining us. We truly appreciate you. We're gonna need you to come back and give us an update. Maybe next week or the week after. Give us an update, please.
I'll stay updated on it, DJ Kitty. But like I said, I'm not going to have too many gruesome details, but I will have a brief summary of it.
Yeah, so a brief summary is all we need. We don't need the gruesome details. We want to thank you so much, WKRA 92.7, The Change, and our listeners and our YouTube listeners. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Have a wonderful day. We will see you guys tomorrow.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Thank you for having me
so much. Of course. Thank you for coming.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Kitty
and Miss Morningstar.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change.
Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC.
Be sure to tune in.